Welcome and thank you for being here. Please be sure to create with care, share with good intentions, subscribe with high expectations, and like with love. Nothing said in this video today will change the fact that a mother, a daughter, a sister, and a friend is no longer with us. I want to take a moment to send my condolences to the family. I pray that you have strength during this time. I implore you to dig into the nitty-gritties of the laws surrounding this case, obtain a great lawyer, and limit your conversations online. I will continue to push alongside you for this case to be reopened in the meantime. To Romeca, you will forever be missed. Hearing about the woman you were has been amazing. And to your son, little man, your family loves you so much. I know nothing will replace your mom, and this is probably so hard for you to understand. But I hope that the memories you shared with your mom remains in your heart forever as you grow to become the man you deserve and have every potential to be. The root cause of the problem in this case is there was a romantic relationship still going on between Romeca and Carlos and Holly. Carlos went back and forth between these two women, adding turmoil to the unfortunate event that we have all had to witness. Dishonesty, trust, lack of communication, and the ability to control one's emotions is the driving force in this case. And unfortunately, as it pertains to the laws in Chicago, this does not work out in favor for the victim. A toxic relationship is one that makes you feel unsupported, misunderstood, demeaned, or attacked. A relationship is toxic when your well being is threatened in some way, emotionally, psychologically, and even physically. The situation is heightened with the additional women and children being brought into this relationship. Abuse took many forms in this situation, such as the psychological, emotional, and physical abuse. It does not seem as though the people surrounding these couples helped the situation as they witnessed the abusive actions happening in both relationships between Romeca and Carlos and Holly. Let's take a look at the location of the crime scene and talk about some facts about the location. Unfortunately, in the eyes of the law, this case is not being looked at as premeditated unalivement, but in the depths of our hearts and in the backs of our minds, we can't help but still wonder how. How can a life be taken and there be no accountability, or is it personal accountability we should be focused on? In a time like this seems to be unfair either way. So let's get into the facts. The shooting did not happen outside of the school as I originally said. I originally looked at the crime scene and I could see that there was not in front of the school location. Did it happen in a school zone? Yes. Fact 2. Romeca did not have an active protective order against Holly Johnson or Carlos Smith. The previous order Romeca had against Carlos was vacated due to a violation by Romeca. 3. Holly did have an active protective order against Romeca. And 4. It was not Holly's responsibility to flee from Romeca or find an alternative measure to protect herself. The protective order is against Romeca. The responsibility is on her to stay away from Holly. Given the location and the proximity of the location from the school and Carlos' house, the questions for the public remains. Should there be charges for the weapon being discharged within the school zone? Are there specific locations where you cannot defend yourself? What was on the traffic cam footage and did the family see it? Were there cameras outside of the school? The right to self-defense is a legal principle that applies on school grounds, but it is not unlimited. The law provides framework for self-defense, but school policies often introduce a complicating layer of the rules. It is crucial for individuals in Chicago to understand the legal and policy landscape regarding self-defense in school zones and navigating these situations appropriately. So, for instance, if there was an incident between students, when a physical incident occurs at a school, administrators and law enforcement will investigate the context to determine if self-defense was a legitimate factor. A primary consideration is identifying the initial aggressor. Witness statements, footage, and the student's own accounts are reviewed to establish who provoked the conflict. A person who starts a fight cannot claim self-defense unless they clearly tried to withdraw from the conflict and the other party continued to attack. Let's get into the facts about the gun. The Second Amendment guarantees Chicago residents the opportunity to carry a concealed firearm for personal defense. The process involves strict requirements, significant restrictions, and a constant need for awareness of current laws and regulations. Failure to comply can have serious legal consequences. There are also still questions surrounding Holly's actual residence. However, Chicago has non-resident carry laws in place as well. So the question is, how can you transport and carry your firearm through Illinois legally? It is legal if the firearm remains concealed within the vehicle. You are legally able to carry a concealed weapon in your home state, and if you leave the car, you must put it in a locked box or it must stay locked in a container. Facts. Holly had a CCL. Holly used her training for that CCL, especially when giving her statement to the police. She says she discharged a weapon because she was afraid for her life. Witnesses state that Holly said, "I'm going to get my gun." She fired a warning shot to Romeca's leg. Romeca still progressed forward. Firing that warning shot is actually detrimental to Holly's case. A warning shot could get her charges. In her training, Holly and everyone else is advised to aim center mass. The family should question how many times Romeca was shot, which came first, and at any time in the additional footage we have not seen, did Romeca stop aggressing her before the fatal shot. Introducing gunfire into a tense situation can provoke a violent response from the person being warned or cause panic among others. Prosecutors may argue that having the time and presence of mind to fire a warning shot indicates that the threat was not truly imminent, undermining the self-defense claim. Given what we now know about Chicago's gun laws, what charges do you think Holly should get for possession of the weapon? Should there be charges for the weapon as it pertains to the school zone, given the acts were of self-defense? Let's get into the investigation. We've all seen the first 48. Yes, it's real. The first 48 is real. It is an American documentary series that provides an insider look at actual homicide investigations, focusing on critical first 48 hours after a crime has been committed. The show chronicles real events and is classified as a true crime series, making it a genuine portrayal of the challenges faced by detectives. In this instance, it is not usual to have this much information at the scene of the crime and at the start of an investigation. We have the victim, who is presumed as the aggressor, on scene. We have the shooter, who has a CCL and an active restraining order. We have the accomplice, Carlos, saying that the shooter did it in self-defense. We have witnesses and their aftermath videos and statements of the actual event. We have the weapon, which is licensed. And then we have some other things that we need to get into. In 2024, Chicago's unalivement clearance rate was only 56%, but that included exceptional clearances in which no arrest was made because the suspect died, or, like in this case, because prosecutors declined to file charges. The real percentage of murders cleared by an arrest in Chicago is only 25%. In this case, prosecutors, again, declined to file charges, and this is an open investigation at this time. The only thing the public hasn't seen is what led up to this tragic aftermath. This would be shown on the street cams that are available, given we have Google Earth and we can literally live look at the location. I believe that the Chicago PD has viewed the viral videos. They have reviewed street cam videos and any surrounding area. They have also taken into account statements from several witnesses, including the shooter, that were made at the scene. This would also be in the street cam footage. They then turned this information over to the district attorney, who has decided to release the shooter with no charges at this time. Again, it is still under investigation. What do you think is left to investigate? The mitigating factors, the stalking and harassment from all parties, the baby daddy drama, the Facebook Lives from the family and friends that continue, the added commentary from investigative journalists and YouTube lawyers, the videos and the photos of damaged property, the mess. Please understand these are all mitigating factors if there is already an active person in custody for the homicide or murder of Romeca Meeks. Unfortunately, this case is about what happened on September 8th. These mitigating factors that are being made more important would be used in court to extend or shorten the sentence of the actual crime by either a defendant or plaintiff when submitting evidence. We need the case to actually get to court to show its relevance. The family needs to focus on a way to get the case to court to be able to introduce these mitigating factors that are being made more important. The family has asked that you contact the state's attorney office to put pressure on them to reopen the case. You can contact Eileen O'Neill Burke, Cook County State's Attorney, at 312-603-1800, and the email address is statesattorney@cookcountysao.org. Hopefully, the family will have a lawyer do a deeper dive on their request to the state's attorney office to tailor it to this unfortunate situation. Sometimes an adjustment in the charges can alter the outcome. I know the family would want this to be to the fullest extent of murder, but some charges are better than no charges. To the family, I am praying for you. Your fight is not over yet, and we have a long road until we get the justice that you are seeking. I hope that you find that. I hope that you are able to get that for her son, and the world is here behind you. To the content creators, being the first to talk about a tragic situation, getting thousands of views, capitalizing, and being wrong is detrimental to the community. When you have to retract and correct, that means you have not done enough research. There are many channels that are smaller that are not monetized. The creators like myself put in real work to get the information out there. I am tired of correcting. Be mindful of your sources. Care and compassion is required in these cases. Please create with care, share with good intentions, subscribe with high expectations, and like with love. Yours truly, Sneaky.